Blog Talk Radio.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the 110 Nation. Glad to be here on this Sunday night. I am the CEO, founder of the 110 Nation. I want to take this opportunity on Sunday nights to kind of talk about the 110 Nation, let you guys know what's going on at the 110 Nation, what we are working on at the 110 Nation, and just an overall just kind of overview of everything every week here at the 110 Nation. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, but I didn't feel that there was a lot or enough going on that we needed to have a show dedicated to just what's going on here at the 110 Nation. But as we continue to grow, as things keep changing here at the 110 Nation, I felt that we're getting to a point that we need to do a little something here. So we'll see how this goes. First of all, I want to make sure that I thank Carolina Sports Plus. They are, for those that are not familiar with the 110 Nation, they are the official sponsor, one of the official sponsors of the 110 Nation. More so the podcast and blog side of the house. If you're new to the 110 Nation, we originally formed, this all originally started back on April 15, 2011. We have had a roller coaster ride to get where we're at. There's been a lot of highs, there's been some lows, but it's been a roller coaster ride for us here at the 110 Nation. And over the last 2 or 3 months, we've really geared up. We've made a few changes, and here we are 13 years later, a little bit over 13 years later, adding to it, expanding. I reformed our LLC. The LLC used to be in North Carolina. I restructured it. We added the 110 Sports and Collectibles Company. It is a company that will be selling sports merchandise, collectibles, all that kind of stuff. Our first event for the sports and collectible company is actually June 29th. It's a Star Spangled Heights, our local city. They do the 4th of July, either the weekend before or the weekend after the 4th of July, depending on when the 4th of July falls. Since it falls in the middle of the week, they did it the weekend before. So we will be out at the Star Spangled Heights from 12 to 9 on Saturday, June 29th. I don't know why I keep wanting to say January for. Thomas Cloud Park in Huber Heights, Ohio. For those that are local, make sure you guys come and check us out. If not, you can follow us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Keep up with us. We do have our domain, the 110 Sports and Collectibles Company.com. There is nothing on it. The website is under construction. I went ahead and made sure that we secured the domain. Not that I necessarily felt that anybody was going to go out and buy the domain, but I just want to make sure that we had the domain taken care of. I tell you what, every week when we do these shows, I'm going to be talking a little bit of both sides of the house. We went from, for the last 13 years, just strictly being a podcast and blog company. Like I said, we originally started back in 2011. The actual LLC originally formatted in, I think it was June. It's almost exactly 9 years ago. It was like June something of 2015. I had the paperwork out earlier. It's the only reason I even know that date. That would happen to be in June of 2015. As a matter of fact, I got this out right now. I don't even know if it's even in this paperwork anymore. Just curious. It was even part June 10th. So almost exactly 9 years later, we restructured it. But every week I'm going to talk a little bit about what we got going on the blog side and media side, really, of the house, the podcast, the blog. And then, of course, I will be spending time talking and expanding on the merchandise side of the house. The company that is going to be taking a different life of its own. I want to shout out to Race Chat Live, another phenomenal show. Make sure you guys check out our YouTube channel, the 110 Nation Sports Radio Network. Make sure you guys subscribe to that. Not only do all our shows go on there, but I also take the time every week, as I got one more from Race Chat Live and two from Safety to Success. I will be chopping up their shows, making a couple of videos, so you don't have to listen to the whole show. You can catch different topics of the show or different guests of the show. But I had a phenomenal show on Tuesday night. Unfortunately for us, on Wednesday night this week, and this is something that we are looking into, but Blog Talk Radio was down again. I started to talk about this on the show Wednesday night because I actually got to. I take that back. It was up. We were actually going to do a show. I was actually going to do a show as Mario, my co-host, was at a festival doing Carolina Sports Plus stuff. I reached out to him. Look, you take care of your thing. I'm going to take care of the show. We good. And actually, I got about 10 minutes in the show, and my mom had to go to the ER. She ended up being there until about 2 o'clock in the morning. We had shut down the show, and I went up there and was there until about 11 o'clock. And my brother ended up staying so I could go home and get some sleep because I got to be back up at 3 o'clock in the morning for work. And then Jared, Safety Success, had a show Thursday night, great show. So we were the only one to miss the show this week. Kind of disappointing. Outside of personal stuff, it would have happened. Blog Talk Radio, though, they have been having issues. We have. I know the 110 Nation Sports Show has missed. I would say 2, at least, if not 3 shows out of the last 4 or 5 shows due to Blog Talk Radio being down. We are actively looking for another platform. I do want a platform that has a lot of, if not the exact same features of Blog Talk Radio. We love Blog Talk Radio. We just don't love the amount of money that we pay for every month, and it be real hit and miss. I know they went through a phase a year or 2 ago. It was horrible, and hardly did a show. We thought about canceling then. We went on a good year or 2 with maybe 1 or 2 shows that were canceled due to technical difficulties. We thought we was past all that. And then this last month or 2, it's been real bad again. So either we want to get on another platform that is like Blog Talk Radio and replace Blog Talk Radio, or I wouldn't even mind reducing our plan on Blog Talk Radio, do a show on a platform that is very similar as Blog Talk Radio, if not exactly the same, and then we can download the show, upload it to Blog Talk Radio. That way the show still is at least broadcasted on Blog Talk Radio and shared and distributed through the Blog Talk Network, how we have set up, versus me having to unsync everything and reline everything up. That would be ideal. If you're out there and you do different different podcasts, and you have a different platform that offers you to have call-in guests, that offers it to link your account to, like we got it to iTunes and Spreaker and stuff, where it automatically sends the shows to these platforms, hit me up. MrCJSports@gmail.com or the 110nation@gmail.com, and let me know what you use, what the plans are, and what your overall thoughts of the podcast platform. We want something that's going to be more consistent as we move forward. It is critical and very vital that we are consistently on. We're hoping to have another week or 2 of no interruptions. If so, we're going to bring back the exclusive. It's a show we do on Monday nights. It's about a 30-minute long show. We spend about 25 minutes, interviewing different athletes, drivers, whatever the case may be. We spend 5 or 10 minutes talking about the network, marketing partners, those kind of things. Get you guys in and out and have a great time, have great guests on the show. Would love to be able to bring the exclusive back. Have a great time doing the show with Chris. Love having these different athletes on. Would just love having an opportunity. Looking forward to hopefully either A, switching platforms, or B, finding a different platform that is more consistent for us to be able to have the show on. Working on a couple other things, just staying on the media side of the 110 brand. As a matter of fact, I got to reach out to GoDaddy for some reason. It is not letting us type in the web address for the radio page, the 110 Nation Sports Radio Network.com, and it go to the website like it's supposed to. It's supposed to forward to it. We actually forward it to link to a different company's platform, pod page. It makes my life a lot easier. Everything uploads. They have everything, the layout and everything. All we got to do is just link it up and do shows. Well, originally I had it masked that if you type in our web address, it still took you there and showed our address. So it was just our way to make it easier for people to find it. And unfortunately, at some point, it stopped doing it. So I do need to reach out to them. And other things when it comes to the Blog Talk, I will say our listens across Blog Talk, Spreaker, and those different platforms we have started going back in the right direction. I want to thank everybody that does tune in to listen to the different shows here on the 110 Nation Sports Radio Network here at the 110 Nation. Hoping to expand, hoping to bring on more shows. Unfortunately, about 2 or 3 months ago, we did lose somebody that was on the network on Sunday nights. They were here for a few weeks. Unfortunate to do with the lack of Blog Talk Radio being consistent. They decided to go on to a different network. So I'm hoping that either we figure it out or Blog Talk Radio figures it out and we can to continue to expand the media side of the company. For those that have been at Blog Talk a while, I guess we don't take it as personal. We've been on this roller coaster ride before. We know what the possibilities are. We know that there's going to be nights that there potentially cannot be shows that are out of our control. Unfortunately, not everybody has been on the Blog Talk Network or, I don't know, live in a fairyland of everything else, that everything always works when they want, how they want. And so got upset. It is what it is. It's unfortunate. I do take it very personal because I pay an expensive amount of money to make all of this work. That was part of why we brought on, as one of many reasons, but one of the reasons we expanded, redid the LLC, and expanded to have the 110 Sports and Collectibles Company to help finance this. You're talking quite a few $100s every month just for the media side. So we're hoping that this will help offset the cost and eventually make it where we're able to expand, upgrade, and be able to pay our employees. So looking forward to that. But if you catch the shows on different platforms, say it's Blog Talk Radio, Spreaker, or even if you catch it on the different apps that podcasts are on, if it be Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, all those different platforms, do us a favor. Just make sure you guys like or follow on those platforms. If you're on iHeartRadio, follow it that way. One, you get a notification every time we get we produce a show, but also it helps build our numbers. It helps bring marketing partners to us when we have a large following to help offset some of these costs. Now that we have taken on and expanded into the whole sports and collectible company, we've acquired a lot more costs. We went from few $100s to at a minimum $1,000 a month that we are coming out of pocket. Well, I say we, but I am coming out of pocket right now to get this all rolling and to help expand and upgrade the 110 Nation. So make sure you guys check out the different platforms. For those that don't know, one, starting this week, I said, we got the 110 Nation weekend review. We'll kind of let you guys know what's going on at the 110 Nation every week. Media side, sports, collectibles, and merchandise side, everything that we got going on. Here right around the corner, we got Monday night, we got the exclusive, where we sit and talk and interview with different athletes, drivers, those in the sporting world. Tuesday night, 8:30, Race Chat Live. The guys, Taz and Chris, they get you guys caught up on all the local or all the latest in racing, more specifically NASCAR, but local, IRL, Indy, you name it, Formula One, SRX racing, NHRA, it don't matter. They talk about it all. Wednesday nights, Mario and myself are in the Carolina Sports Plus studio. We cover all things sports. And then Thursday night, Jared Hudson with Safety to Success, 8 o'clock right here on the 110 Nation Sports Radio Network. And he gets you guys caught up on all the safety talk, local drivers, local vendors, local you name it, and drivers. And it's a phenomenal show. So make sure you guys check that out. Working on getting things taken care of and working on some blogs. It's been a while since we've done blogs. I'm trying to, I tell you what, it's a lot. I have never won A or A1, however I want to say this. I've had such a emotional roller coaster ride of adrenaline, excitement, nervous. Like there's a lot that is going into this. There is a lot of support in doing this. There's a lot of money going into this. We're hoping that our first location right now, we're planning on our first location to open up our first spot October 5th. We're hoping and planning on being at a major festival every month up until or to include that month. We got a festival in Tip City. We got a festival in Fairborn. We got a festival in Fairborn. We got a lot of things going on that we want to partake in as we continue to build stuff for the sports and collectibles side of the company as well, which just doing the LLCs and the vendor license. And I tell you what, I had an opportunity this week, and a lot of people, I hear a lot of things about a lot especially when it comes to taxes and IRS. And don't get me wrong, I am not a fan of taxes. I think it's I don't even know the word I want to use right now, but you're going to tax me on my paycheck, and then you're going to tax me on whatever I buy. Then if it's a house or a car, I'm going to get taxed every year on top of that. Then I get taxed at the end of the year. Like I'm over taxes. Like over half our money goes to taxes. It's ridiculous. But I had to call the IRS twice in the last 2 weeks ever since we've been working on getting everything set up for the LLC, the tax code, sales tax, monthly tax, you name it, everything that I had to take care of. And the first time I called, I honestly thought I was going to be put on hold. It was going to be a hold to do. One, I was not put on hold. And two, it was one of the most pleasant experiences I've ever had with any customer service or calling anybody. And the second time I called, I was unfortunately put on hold, but it was literally like a 2-minute put on hold. And then once again, it was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. Now, watch the next one won't be as good. It won't be as complimentary. But just trying to learn everything, trying to stay organized, having two folders right now, one of June's entire receipts and everything, transactions, and making sure that I run this on a whole P&L spreadsheet with transactions so everything's accounted for in the right categories. Having 2 months worth and 3 months of spreadsheets and P&Ls already projected, planned, and started to work, to the LLC, to the vendor's license, to the, like I said, the state tax codes, to know that I got to go in every month to the Ohio state sites and file taxes and everything else. It is a lot. It is it's overwhelming. And I'm trying my hardest to learn it all. I'm trying to, as a store manager, as a store manager of one of the biggest convenience store chains in the entire world. And I run the busiest store in the entire district with the highest merchandise sales, food sales, gallons, customer counts, you name it. I by volume are the busiest. So trying to do that, trying to help my brother grow his lawn care business while earning extra cash on the side to help pay for all of this, which I kind of paid the price for it a little bit. One of the properties that we do is my sister-in-law's. And for some extra cash the last couple weeks, not this week, but the 2 weeks before that, I did some side stuff. 1 week I cleaned the fence line and cut down a couple trees. The next week I trimmed and shaped bushes. I worked on another part of a fence line, and then I went ahead and, even though she warned me that there was possibly poison ivy in between the garage and the fence line, I went ahead and did that to make some extra cash to help pay for everything. Now, before I go on, I will let you know that 3 months, 4 months, 5 months down the road, if I was offered the same amount of money, which I'm not saying I got paid a lot of money. As a matter of fact, I'll let you know how much I got paid. I got paid $50. That was my doing. I spent 5 hours, and in doing so, cut, trimmed, and did an immaculate job on 2 bushes on the side of the house. I cleaned and did the whole trash area fence line, and then, like I said, I did the whole fence line between the garage and stuff. I know I could have made a lot more money in that. As a matter of fact, she actually ended up sending me an extra $25 a couple of days later because she felt bad, because even with the warnings, I did catch poison ivy, and I caught it in a very, very bad way. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to go to the Dayton Dragons baseball game on Thursday night. We got there. I walked 2 laps around the actual ballpark. For those that don't know who the Dayton Dragons are, they are the high class A of the Cincinnati Reds. We do partial season. My wife and I do 11 games. My mom does 11 games. My sister-in-law does 11 games. Like I said, we walked 2 laps around the ballpark because I didn't want to sit next to anybody with the poison ivy juice or poison, whatever it is, coming out of the pores. Like I'm sitting here right now doing this podcast and dabbing my arm every so often as the poison ivy stuff is still coming out my arms. My arms were covered in blisters, and to this point, the bottom half of it, I still can't really feel my finger touch on part of my arm, and it's still recovering. I would say I'm about 75% from where it was, but we're still nowhere close. The backside of my legs, what bothered me the night of the baseball game, as just the rubbing and sweating of the leg and the pants leg had it all. Just the poison had the shorts discolored, where basically it looked like a pus, but it was just the poison ivy stuff. Long story short, we didn't make it to the first. I think we made to the first pitch, and that was really it. We went ahead and left. I couldn't do it. The next night, I was actually supposed to go out with the wife, her family, as her oldest son turned 21 that week, or this last week, and we were supposed to go out to a comedy club, have some drinks, let him get his first drink as a 21-year-old, or first drink period. I couldn't do it. Last night I was supposed to go to another Dane Dragons game. I had to cancel on that as well. Today I was supposed to do 3 lawns and get some things done, and I'm trying to spend one more day kind of letting all this stuff seep out and kind of let it recover so that nothing got into it, got infected. And things really started turning around the other day. I think it was yesterday. And that was the day before. This is the 3rd day I've been using it, though. I got an exfoliating, medicated kind of wash, and it's really helped. But those are the kind of things that I'm doing here at the 110 Nation. I'm doing little odd inside-in jobs, picking up extra hours to help build inventory and help pay for the LLCs and the vendor license and the taxes and getting be able to pay for the vendor spot out at the Star Spangled Heights the end of this month. That was a $50 fee. The one in the Sweet Corn Festival, that's a $225 maximum, plus you got to carry certain liability for it. So, yeah, that's going to be an expensive one. You're looking at about a $300 or $400 day counting employee. So just a lot going on trying to build this. So this kind of just gives me an opportunity every week to kind of let you guys know where we're at with all this, when the location, where the festivals are, 2, as each location comes up, so you guys know where to find us once we get the website up. Let you guys know you guys can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, let you guys know what's going on the media side of the house. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Now that we're back into a consistent rotation of shows, the numbers are starting to go back in the right direction. Just a lot of things going on here at the 110 Nation. It just gives me an opportunity to kind of sit down, let those of the 110 that listen in to this know where things are, talk about things, and let the listeners know, let the fans know where we're at, how we're growing as a company, kind of get a look underneath the tent and see what's going on, how we're building this thing. Got a lot of things going on this week. I'll be placing another order, hopefully by next weekend, but sometime in the next 7 to 10 days. That may or may not be the last shipment of items to come in for the festival. That'll give us a nice little, because we're going to have basically an 8x8 tent out there. We actually built our own peg walls we built one of them last week. We're going to build the other one next week. I was going to do it this weekend, but obviously with the poison ivy stuff, that kind of took a back seat. Just got a lot of things going on. Want to take this opportunity every Sunday night to kind of sit down with you guys, let you guys know what's going on, let you guys be part of the process. And for those that are out there listening that are interested, giving an opportunity to know where we're at and see where you can plug in, maybe be part of our media team, be part of the sports and collectibles side. Always looking to expand. Got a lot of things going on. Don't know what pace this is all going to go look at. Hopefully this is not one of those things that take forever. But I can assure you that I have the complete and full support of the 110 Nation, the listeners, the fans, the family. As a matter of fact, one last little bit of note when we get out of here. Had my the director of HR and my regional manager come to me Wednesday during break to ask if I was still relocatable in my job, which I am to an extent, and asked if I was still interested in being promoted, which I am. I interviewed almost 2 years ago to have my name in the hat in the running to become a district manager, as I am one of the top managers in the entire division. And they finally finally got around to my name in the hat, I guess, this last week. The unfortunate part of it is it's about 2 states away is where they wanted me to relocate if I wanted to take this opportunity. I don't feel it's in my cards. I don't feel that, if it was within 100, 150, maybe even pushing it 200 miles, they paid me enough of a pay increase, paid for a move, and paid maybe my first and last month's rent, it would be, and it was within, 100, 150 miles, probably a good chance I would have took it and worked on building things from there. I don't know. But because it is so far out that the wife is not going to move, she's going to uproot the kids, her life, and it's too far for me to drive even monthly, I would say, 'cause you're looking at a 5-6 hour drive easily that I know that I'm not, especially being a district manager when I have time or the energy to do. But I will say that the first response out of my wife's mouth when that was brought up was, what about your business? What are you going to do about what you're trying to do? And it made me take a minute and kind of step back for a second and like, you know what? She's right. Like everything that I've been talking about, everything that I've been listening to, I for a brief moment started to find myself wrapped up into things they were talking about, trying to chase the dollar, worried about something they print every day, instead of staying focused on what the big picture of, and that's my time, my freedom, me to be able to do things on my time frame, and versus, for a prime example, I have an assistant manager that's somewhat still in training, supposed to be replacing my assistant manager who is supposed to be retiring in 2 months. And this Saturday was supposed to be the first Saturday. He's been with me for a couple months now. This is going to be the first Saturday that he did the paperwork on his own. Supposed to show up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I get a phone call at 5:15, never showed. I called him 4 or 5 times, went straight to voicemail. Here we are Sunday night, almost 24 hours later, and I have yet to hear from him. So I'm tired of those days. I'm tired of somebody that doesn't even work with me, doesn't know what goes on a day-to-day basis, determines how many nickels or pennies or dimes I get extra for the next year. To know that I'm one of the lowest paid store managers, not only in my district, but in my profession, in the second largest convenience store company in the entire world. I want to have more control of things. I want to have control of my time, my pay, the result of my efforts, like the things that I do, sacrifice things in my body I have torn, sleep that I'll never get back, health issues that, I've been literally paralyzed to my bed for at least a week, if not 10 days, from something I did at work, and literally had to low crawl down a hallway and downstairs and be carried to a car. And so I could go to the ER before they could finally give me the medicine, the steroids, and everything that I needed. That it still took another week after that. I was literally stuck in my bed for like 3 weeks. Could not move. Had to pee in a bottle outside the bed. I'm over all that. I am ready to take the 110 to a different level. I am ready to build this with everybody that wants to be a part of this. And I'm just ready to enjoy the rest of my life. This is something we envisioned back April 15, 2011, when this all started. This is something we envisioned June 10, 2015, when we formed the first LLC. And, of course, this is where we're at again as we restructure the LLC, got the company format and everything else. I do want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I want to thank Carolina Sports Plus. for being our longest marketing partner. Great relationship with Mario. Make sure you guys check them out at CarolinaSportsPlus.com. Check out their Facebook, Instagram. I know he's out at the Hope County Festival. I think tonight might be the last night of the festival. And then he's on to the next one. He should be in the studio with me Wednesday nights. Looking forward to that as well. Looking forward to seeing where the 110 Sports and Collectibles Company goes, where this takes us, how this helps us continue to grow on that side of the house and, of course, the media side of the house as well. Make sure you guys tune in the shows. We've got a lot of great shows planned for you this week. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as we want to continue to grow that and hope that brings in more revenue and help us continue to grow here at the 110 Nation. I hope you guys have had a great week. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. Look forward to speaking to you guys next week. Until then.